Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by my easy cooking channel. Last night I put a steak in some marinade and put it in the fridge overnight. So today I'm going to try to cook it in my toaster oven. So let's go inside and I'll show you what I have going on. So what I have here is a 2.2 pound London broil or top round steak. I picked that up for $3.99 a pound. These days, if you can get any kind of beef for under $5 a pound, you're doing pretty good. So what I like to do with these is they can be kind of tough. I'm going to open it up and just poke a few holes in it with a knife or fork and marinate it in this. This is actually a pork marinade, but I didn't care for it on pork that much, but I did like it on beef. I tried it on some beef and I liked it that way. So I'm just going to use that. So what I'm going to do here is just take my knife and just poke holes in this steak. And I'm going to do this on both sides. And what that'll do is let the marinade get into the meat, and it will give it more flavor, but also it will tenderize it. I've poked holes in both sides of my steak. Now I'm just going to pour this marinade on it. And you can really use any type of marinade that you like. You know, some guys will mix up their own marinades. But I figure, you know, I can just buy it in a bottle and it's all ready to go. I'd rather do that. It's easier. Just kind of massaging this meat a little bit, trying to get the marinade into it a little bit more. That looks pretty good. And we'll just put some plastic wrap over this. And we'll put it in the fridge. And we will be back tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day. Pulled my steak out of the fridge. It's been in this marinade for about 16 hours. I'll usually let them go anywhere from maybe 12 to 24 hours. And then usually I do them on my grill when I marinate them like that. But today I'm going to try to do it in my toaster oven. So I'm just going to pull it out of there, put it directly on the toaster oven rack with the tray underneath to catch the drippings. So let me do that. Well, that's a perfect fit. I even had room for some potatoes. I took these potatoes and rubbed some olive oil on the outside of them and put a little kosher salt on them. I didn't put any other seasoning on the steak. No salt, no pepper or anything, because I think that marinade is fairly salty. Normally I'd put some pepper, but my wife doesn't care for that, so I can add that at the table. Now I'm going to put the probe. I have one of these barbecue probes, thermometers, and I'm going to stick that in the center of the steak right there, kind of in the thickest part. That'll help me tell how long to cook it. I set the oven temperature to 350 degrees on bake. I've got my meat probe in there, and right now the temperature of the meat is 61 degrees. So I'm going to probably leave it in there till it hits about 125 or 130 degrees. It's been about half an hour, and the internal temperature of that steak just hit 131 degrees. So I'm going to pull that out right there, and the potatoes may have to stay in a little bit longer. I'm not sure. I pulled the steak out and it looks good. It's steaming hot, and you can see the temperature is still climbing. It's at 136 right now. So we'll let that rest, and the potatoes aren't quite done, so leave those in a little bit longer. The potatoes are still cooking, but the steak's been resting a few minutes, so let's just cut into this thing and see how it looks. Making a big mess here. All right. There we are. That looks about right to me. Kind of medium rare. Nice pink in it. If you like it cooked more than that, then you'd have to cook it a little bit longer. That cooked about half an hour. Right, as soon as the potatoes are done, I'll make myself a plate here. Those potatoes took about 45 minutes. They turned out real good in there. I cut up the meat. I tasted it while I was cutting it. It's nice and tender. It has good flavor from the marinade. Threw a little bit of salad on there. Pretty easy way to cook a nice London broil dinner. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.